life, we always take in new things, and we process them, and then we have to let go of the waste, the poisons. Use a muscle, then there's always the waste afterward. And the very basic part of health and well-being is to make sure that the body cleanses and lets go of toxins and waste products. Our mental thinking involves not letting negative thoughts disturb the thinking process in general. So from a physical, nutritional, and mental point of view, it is very important to be able to let toxins, let poisons, difficult things, let them go, help the body use all the mechanisms it has to let toxins go. This relates to drug abuse, this relates to anxiety, and this relates to well-being on all levels. And so acupuncture is, this ear acupuncture formula that we have helps this process of detoxification, the different vital organs release. It helps the mind not be bottled up, but let go, stretch out. And then we have space to move forward again. So detoxification or cleansing is a very important part of life in all respects. And it's one reason that we call the clinical process that we're doing ear acupuncture detoxification, because we want that cleansing. Ear acupuncture is based on reality that there are points on the ear that correspond to all parts of the body, that the body function is sort of reflected on the ear, so that if you have a stiff neck, the neck area in the ear will also be stiff. And if you have an irritated stomach area on the ear will be red and look irritated. The point location in the ear looks quite complicated, but actually the concept is fairly simple. You have the ear is a situation where this is the face down here, and this is the part of the central nervous system goes right around this area like this. And it's easy to remember these points if you consider that the ear is essentially represents an upside-down person. So what is here at this part of the ear, this is the face, and then you have the front of the head, you have the spinal column going all the way around here, and this is the lumbar area, and then you have the limbs going down. The first rule is that the ear is an upside-down baby. The second rule is that points that are inside in the cave represent internal organs. And the third rule just mixes the two. It says that you have the spinal canal, the brain, and the nervous system goes around the surface. So this is the tail, and this is the head down here. Called the sympathetic. You put the needle straight along this ridge into the side of this curl of the ear here. And this is a point that represents the very bottom of the central nervous system. The idea being that when we are tense, the brain and the pituitary and the top of the central nervous system is sort of overheated and over-functioning. And so by stimulating the bottom, you're sort of letting release all the excess congestion, release like that. Sympathetic is a very important location. The second location that we're talking about is the the shen point, which is the word shen is a Chinese word, and it means the gate of the spirit, gate that the God is located, the God enters, or the God within you, how to find the spirit. And this is a point that also represents in relation from their head, and we ask them to breathe in and out, so be more balanced. And we're doing those points in the ear for that. At the outset, it's very hard to draw pictures of the ear or even to see it on a computer screen because you have all these shadows and you have these three dimensions. So it's a kind of yoga point. This is the ear here, and so the first point we do inner essence of the person. The sympathetic point. These two are the most famous points in the bottom of most of the formulas use these 2 points. Because these are basics. One of the points that hurts the least in all of the ear. And that's because tension. The third point we use, and it's not a formula, is the lung point. The second point we use is the gate of the spirit in the inner part of the ear here in this location. There's a sort of a region. And the lung point has to do with the gate of the spirit is near the tip of the process that relates to the lung, that is relaxation, letting go, and more shallow area here. The gate of the spirit is the place where the spirit enters, the God within, how to find. So we ask a person to, the third point is the lung point, which is a whole area. Most acupuncture points. It's from an area rather than an exact location. And this is things from here to down here. In the bottom of the cave. Second one is actually a good name. It's shen, that's a Chinese word for gate of the spirit, gate of the God within. And this is in location in the lower abdomen, so this is like a yoga point. And these 2 are the most famous points in acupuncture. They're used most of the time. And the third one is the lung point, which is a basic relaxing point. These points are all areas. They are not points. So if the needle is close enough, it will work out fine.